It is 5 minutes past 12. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mara Mukwanda. Getting enough sleep and the right type of sleep is vital for our overall health and well being. While you sleep, your body works to support healthy brain function and maintain your physical health. But what happens when you don't get a good night's rest? What can your sleep patterns tell you about your health? To tell us more, we have sleep health consultant JD Uys. Good day, JD, and good morning.
Hi, Miriam. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank
Hi.
you.
Hi. Hello.
All right. So, first of all, why is a good night's rest important?
Well, if you consider that we spend about a third of our lives asleep, and also consider that sleep is a very active process, it is not something where we lose consciousness and nothing happens until we wake up. Very specific metabolic happenings take place while we are asleep. Sleep is very important to rejuvenate our physical and our mental health. It's literally, it literally keeps us alive. It's just as important as breathing, eating, and exercising.
Wow. And how does it impact on our health?
Well, obviously, if we don't sleep enough, or if there is some type of a sleep disorder, it impacts negatively on our emotional health and our physical health. There's lots of studies out there that includes a lack of sleep. Now, I'm talking now about a lack of sleep quantity. In other words, if we don't sleep enough. If we don't sleep enough, um, we stand a risk for metabolic conditions like type 2 diabetes or sugar intolerance or insulin resistance. Our heart doesn't get enough rest, so that's critical. So it leaves a risk for heart disease and high blood pressure. And also, very importantly, in children, if children don't sleep enough, it suppresses their growth because we need to
Mhm.
remember that when we sleep, we release a hormone called the human growth hormone. And children needs to sleep longer than adults, specifically for that reason. We grow when we sleep. We burn fatty tissues when we are asleep. We build our immune system when we are asleep. So if we don't sleep enough, it impacts our lives in every way, from mental health to physical health to our cognitive ability to do our job good enough or to look after our family. Um, it is very important.
Hmm. And well, there are so many people who don't consider sleep as important. They'll tell you things like successful people don't sleep, successful people do this and do that. But as you mentioned, that sleep is
Mm,
very, very important as for our
mm,
overall growth and well-being. I mean, it
mm,
helps your brain. So if you're not getting enough sleep, then
mm.
obviously you're just setting yourself backwards. Now, what about not getting enough quality sleep? Because you may say that you're getting enough sleep, but if you'll find that you probably wake up during the middle of the night here and there, which
Mm,
will affect your quality sleep.
mm. So obviously, if we don't get enough quality sleep, and there's many issues that affect our quality of sleep. Um, Quality of sleep is usually environmental dependent and also disease dependent. In other words, for instance, pain that we may have, any pain that we may experience, will impact on our quality of sleep. And then, if we turn it around, the quality of sleep will make the pain worse. So obviously, it's more important to manage the pain, for instance, that will impact our quality of sleep. If we don't get enough quality of sleep, we don't spend enough time in the important sleep stages to to be for our sleep to be productive. So quality of sleep refers to the condition of our bedrooms, the amount of caffeine we take, TVs in the bedroom impacts our our quality of sleep. Even something small like our mattresses, the quality of our mattresses or the quality of our bedrooms in terms of temperatures, a room temperature, and the darkness of the room. We need to sleep as our environment where we sleep needs to be as dark as possible. Um, it won't have such a negative impact on the quality of sleep. But if we have any diseases, sleep diseases like sleep apnea or restless leg syndrome, that impacts on our quality of sleep. And then we tend to get into um, problems where we get more and more fatigued, and that fatigue issues impact then negatively on our productivity. I don't know if I answered
Speaking
your
about
question.
All right, thank you. Sleeping,
Okay.
talking about sleep patterns, can you tell by your sleep patterns if you might be ill or have a certain condition? Is it possible to tell through your sleeping patterns?
Yes. What we do, if we do what is called a polysomnogram or a sleep study, there are many factors that is measured during a sleep study. Part of those things that we measure is called our sleep staging. Otherwise, it will tell us in what stages of sleep we spend during what time of the night. We can certainly tell that something is wrong, that there is some kind of a pathology during our sleep staging. But we need other parameters to measure, for instance, airflow or muscle movement, and that's all electronic or electrically triggered to tell why we don't spend enough time in deep sleep or REM sleep. So we can pick up that there's some kind of a pathology or problem during our sleep staging, but it needs further investigation to determine exactly what those problems are. For instance, if we drink sleep medication for quite a number of, and I'm talking about the strong medication like Dormanoct or the muscle relaxant type of medication, this central nervous system stimulants like Dormanoct, for instance, we can certainly tell that a person spends much less time in deep sleep and also very little or much less time in REM sleep. Also, if one drinks enough caffeine, we can also see the effects on that on our sleep staging. So, but if we need other investigations or more in-depth investigations, we need other parameters to measure as well.
Mhm. Right, and when it comes to sleep, how much does one need according to their age?
Okay, yeah, that's very interesting and it's a very important question. And parents, please listen up. Okay, um, I know that adults, let's start with adults. Adults need at least 6 hours of sleep. That is not just a number where we thumb sucked it. There's lots of evidence, lots of good scientific evidence that shows that if adults sleep less than 6 hours, it increases the rate of mortality and also the rate of chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes. So adults need at least 6 hours of sleep. And interestingly, adults cannot or preferably may not sleep more than 9 hours. If an adult sleeps more than 9 hours, it usually indicates that there may be some kind of a sleep problem or illness or something that needs further investigation. So for adults, not less than 6 hours of sleep. Children, on the other hand, obviously, I'm talking about school aging children, children where they start their um, their cognitive growth from 3 to 4, where they start to communicate. They need up to 12 hours of sleep, 14 hours of sleep, and the older they get. So let's see preschool children from 3 to 5 or 6 needs about between 12 and 14 hours of sleep a night. Very importantly, um, because they need to grow. And then school aging children need between at least 10 hours of sleep. And then high school children, depending on, the 14 to 16 can get about 8 or 9 hours, and then school going from 16 to 18 can get about 7 to 8 hours of sleep. um, the reason for that is obviously, Miriam, because we need our children to grow, and children who doesn't sleep enough won't necessarily be fatigued, because they will mostly be what we call hyper aroused. Many parents think that because my child is not sleeping 7 or 8 hours or 12 hours, for instance, they don't need it because they're not tired. Children are fighting it. They are hyperactive. They don't do as well in school, and it's very important. We can see it directly in their behavior, and their illnesses. Their immune system is not as strong as it's supposed to be. So I hope I
Mm-hmm.
answer your question in terms of the sleep length that children needs and adults need. Obviously, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
let me just add up. The older we get, we need less sleep. So our geriatric patients, people who are 65 years and plus, does not have to sleep 8 or 9 hours a night, because they don't need that growth. The way we can measure our sleep, if we had good quality or quantity of sleep, is how do we wake up in the morning? Do we wake up refreshed? Do we wake up like in the movies where, the sun is shining and the makeup is already on, and, the world is just a better place? If you wake up like that, then we had a good night's sleep, where we feel refreshed. That is how to measure if we had enough sleep.
Hmm. All right, JD, please stay with us. So we're going to take a quick break and we will continue thereafter.
Okay. Thank you.
To avoid calamity and despair. The Al Imdad Foundation gives you the opportunity to sponsor a share in a borehole in South Africa for just 1,000 Rand and provide what the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, called the best form of charity. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042 203 1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
From the townships of South Africa, the refugee camps in Syria, or orphanages in Yemen, the eyes of the needy speak volumes with just one glare. We know what it's like to be at ground zero, with food essentials, clothing and blankets, fresh water portal trucks, and even on-site navigators. We use every cent to better their tomorrow. Become part of our journey to bring relief to all. Go to www.ashrafulaid.org or call us on 011 809 8181. Ashraful Aid, under the auspices of Maulana Suhail Wadi.
What makes Randery Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewelers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewelers to make it special. www.randeryjewelers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Did you know a sponsored water well and borehole allows children to go back to school, empowers communities, and is a means of sadaqah jariyah? There are many villages in Africa and Afghanistan that are in need of water wells and boreholes. Sponsor a water well in Africa at 14,500 rands, or a borehole in Africa and Afghanistan at 49,500 rands. Call Africa Muslims Agency on 011 834 8685 or donate at Africa Muslims Agency. .co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media, and we are talking about sleep health, and more in particular, what sleep patterns can tell you about your health conditions. If it might be able to tell you if you have an underlying health condition with the sleep health consultant, JD Uys. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section or send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. JD, thank you for staying on the line. Now, if you find that you have an underlying health condition, how can you create a sleeping schedule that works for you?
Okay, that's a very important question. Obviously, if we are ill or if we are injured, the more we sleep, the quicker that injury or that illness will take place. The illness will, because of our immune system. Very importantly, obviously, many high performers out there think that, or under the impression that the harder we work, and the illness is just a blockage in the road. If we are ill or if we are injured, obviously we need to take it slower and take care of ourselves and sleep more. How do we sleep more? Is obviously to allow time to sleep, first of all. Budget time out to sleep and spend that time asleep. Make sure that the room is dark. Make sure that the room is not too light. And we can even employ some resources, for instance, these caps that you wear over your eyes to make it as dark as possible. And then basically increase the sleeping time that we have. If we are ill or injured, remember that you are by nature more tired, and that's a cue for your body that it needs more rest. Talking about rest, we need to remember that sleep is not rest, and rest is not sleep. Sleep is a very active, productive process. If we lie in bed resting during the night, we are not sleeping. It's like sitting at the dinner table and not eating. You will continue to be hungry, and the same with sleep. So to answer your question, Miriam, is how can we improve sleep? Is to first of all take care of our environment where we sleep. Reduce noise, reduce the TV, take it slowly. Don't work in bed. Don't take your laptop to bed. Don't take technology to bed. Just use that time to sleep and to get healthy again and to get rid of that injury. Obviously, I'm not talking about you need to pack your laptop away and don't work at all. I'm obviously saying that just cut down on don't work in the room. Spend more time in bed and don't use the time to get better and to sleep. Don't use that time to work, because remember, working and resting in bed and working in bed is not sleeping. If you get what I'm saying, if your listeners understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I if
Yeah,
I'm if
well,
I'm
I'm glad that you pointed out that resting and sleeping is not the same thing because, many attempt to just say, oh, I'm going to rest, I'm going to rest. And, one will wake up and they are not refreshed. They didn't wake up like they wake up in the movies because, I mean, they didn't
yes,
sleep, but they just went
yes,
to rest. Now, when it
yes.
comes to naps, for example, taking a nap during the day, does that affect sleeping at night?
Depending on how active we are during the night, and then depending on if we're suffering from insomnia-related issues. My battery is very flat, and I don't have my power cord here, so let's hope it holds on. Um,
All right.
okay, so just quickly in terms of naps, if we are suffering from insomnia during treatment, we usually don't allow naps unless it's an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Naps can help to fight fatigue, so it's a good thing, but no longer than 20 to 30 minutes. If we are very tired, so naps is also good when we are ill. We can include naps when we are ill. We can
Mm-hmm.
nap, but the minute you struggle to sleep during the night, we need to stop napping. So naps are good unless it doesn't influence our nighttime sleep. So the minute we realize that we struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep during the night, then we need to reduce our napping.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So naps are good.
Mhm.
Naps are a good thing.
All right. Awesome. Now, quickly before your battery dies and leaves us, your contact details once again.
Okay, my contact details. People can just visit my website. It's www. dot. I'm going to spell it. It's ARKEL, and then the words or the letters SHC. So it's sugar, H for hotel, and C for Charlie. SHC.com. So it's www.arkelshc.com, and I can leave a message there, and my telephone number is also there
All right.
on
Thank
the
you so much for
website.
your time once again, and have a
Okay,
wonderful day. Bye bye.
fantastic. Thanks for the opportunity. Bye bye.
JD Uys from Oracle Sleep Health. He is a sleep health consultant, and you can contact him should you have any further questions or you would like to know more about sleep conditions. If you have a sleep condition, go to www.oracleshc.com. That's ARKELSHC.com, and you'll get the contact details over there. And growing up, we've always been taught that 8 hours of sleep is like the go-to amount of sleep that we are supposed to have. And actually it's different for different age groups. As adults, 6 to 7 hours is more than enough sleep, but anything less than 6 hours or anything more than 6 hours should be a cause for concern, something that you should look into. For kids, toddlers who are still growing, 12 hours, as JD mentioned. For school going kids, that's 10 hours. For teenagers, that then it comes to the 8 hours. I think maybe they said that because we were teens. So then the 8 hours, 8 to 9 hours will come into play. But for adults, 6 hours. So make sure that you get your 6 hours of sleep, not rest, of sleep. Because if you don't get enough sleep, you are going to develop health conditions, and you wouldn't want that. So get your sleep on. It is at 12:29. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mario Mukwanda. Please stay with us. We will be right back.